Okay, let's unpack this. Today, we're embarking on quite a deep dive into an ancient and really pivotal narrative.
Hmm.
It's one that starts with this huge command, and it unfolds through these incredible promises, a long journey, and, well, even a surprising detour.
That's right. We're looking at Genesis chapter 12, focusing on Abram.
Exactly. And our mission really is to pull out the key insights from this foundational text, understand the challenges, the triumphs of this legendary figure.
And maybe what it can suggest for navigating uncertainty today.
Yeah, precisely. So we'll look at that initial divine call, the big promises, and then that really fascinating high-stakes situation down in Egypt. So just imagine for a second, you're told to leave absolutely everything, your country, your people, your entire family home,
Everything familiar?
for a land you haven't even seen. That's literally what the Lord commanded Abram, go to the land I will show you. It seems, well, almost illogical, doesn't it?
It really does. And what's truly striking here, it isn't just the sheer size of the command.
Yeah.
It's the audacity of it.
Yeah.
Especially if you think about Abram's age. He's 75.
75?
Yeah. I mean, most people are thinking about stability then, right?
Yeah.
Not pulling up every single route for somewhere totally unknown.
Yeah.
It's more than belief. It feels like this disruptive courage.
Huh.
Goes against every instinct for security.
And it wasn't just a command, was it? It came bundled with these incredible promises.
That's what he promises.
The Lord pledged, I'll make you into a great nation. I'll bless you, make your name great. You'll be a blessing to others.
And even protection. Blessing those who bless you, cursing those who curse you. It's quite the package.
It really is.
And if you zoom out a bit, the promise goes even further.
Yeah.
And all peoples on earth will be blessed through you.
Right.
So this isn't just, Abram winning the lottery. It's positioned right away as foundational for everyone.
Mm.
It immediately shifts from just his story to a kind of blueprint for a universal impact. It hints at something much, much bigger than one man's fate.
So what does Abram do? The text says, well, without hesitation, he went, just as the Lord told him.
75 years old when he sets out from Haran.
It really makes you wonder, what kind of conviction or maybe even desperation does it take to make that kind of change at that age?
Well, it forces you to think about faith itself, doesn't it?
Right.
Is it just blind obedience? Or is there some deep internal knowing that just compels such a radical move?
And he didn't go alone either.
No, he took his wife, Sarai, his nephew Lot,
Wow.
all their possessions, everything they'd accumulated,
Yeah.
and the people they had acquired in Haran too,
Right. The whole household, basically, their destination, Canaan.
the land of Canaan.
So they arrive, they get to Canaan. Abram travels through the land as far as the site of this great tree of Morah at Shechem.
Mm-hmm.
And the text specifically points out, at that time, the Canaanites were already in the land.
And there's the immediate paradox, isn't it?
Yeah.
You're promised a land,
Yeah.
but hang on, it's already occupied. It
Oh.
instantly complicates the gift. It signals that this journey isn't going to be simple, not just walking in and taking over. It might be a struggle, a process. It kind of suggests that divine promises often unfold right in the middle of existing, messy realities.
And it was right there at Shechem that the Lord appeared to Abram again
Another appearance.
and specifically says, to your offspring, I will give this land.
So a reinforcement of the promise, despite the Canaanites being there.
Exactly. And what does Abram do? He builds an altar to the Lord, a clear act of, well, worship, but also maybe claiming that promise, even with others present.
Marking the territory, spiritually speaking.
Yeah, maybe. Then from Shechem, he keeps going, pitches his tent toward the hills east of Bethel.
Bethel meaning house of God. Significant place name.
Right, with Bethel on the west and Ai on the east. And there, he builds another altar, calls on the name of the Lord again.
It's becoming a pattern. New place, build an altar, reaffirm the connection.
Before continuing south, toward the Negev, that sort of arid southern region. Okay, now, here's where things take a real turn. A challenge emerges that forces Abram into a really surprising move.
Yeah, this is unexpected.
A severe famine hits the land where Abram is. This crisis forces a decision. Abram goes down to Egypt, the text says, to live there for a while.
And see, this famine, it isn't just like bad luck hitting the guy with the promise. It feels like a test, a crucible moment.
How so?
Well, it shows that even when you're supposedly under divine promise, life still throws these major curveballs. Famine is life-threatening.
Absolutely.
And it forces these tough, immediate choices just for survival. Abram's reaction heading to Egypt reveals a very human mix. Survival instinct, yes, but maybe also, I don't know, a temporary lapse in trusting the land he was just promised.
That's interesting, a lapse in trust. Because just as they're about to enter Egypt, Abram says something pretty significant to Sarai. He voices this fear.
He knows she's beautiful, exceptionally so.
And his worry is specific. The Egyptians will see her, realize she's his wife, kill him to take her, but let her live.
A plausible fear in that ancient context, perhaps. Powerful rulers could potentially do that.
And then he tells her the plan. Say you are my sister.
So that I will be treated well for your sake and my life will be spared because of you.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, this is a truly uncomfortable moment in the narrative, isn't it?
Definitely.
Abram's fear seems to just override his role as her protector. He puts Sarai directly in harm's way. It makes you ask, is this just, shrewd survival in a dangerous world? Or is it a massive failure of faith, trusting his own cunning plan over the divine protection he was promised? It's a complex ethical knot right there in this foundational story.
So the plan goes ahead. They get to Egypt. And sure enough, the Egyptians see Sarai is, as the text puts it, a very beautiful woman.
Just as Abram feared. Or well predicted.
Pharaoh's own officials notice her, praise her to Pharaoh himself, and she's taken into his palace.
Taken into the royal household. Exactly the scenario Abram seemed to want to avoid, yet his plan led straight to it, in a way.
And because of Sarai, or rather, because Pharaoh thinks she's Abram's sister and potentially available, Pharaoh treats Abram really well.
Yes, the text lists it out. Sheep, cattle, donkeys, servants, camels. Abram gets wealthy.
So for a moment, it looks like the deception actually worked. It paid off.
On the surface, yes.
But it doesn't last. The deception has consequences. The Lord intervenes, inflicts serious diseases on Pharaoh and his household because of Abram's wife Sarai.
Right. And the divine intervention here, it's not just a rescue mission for Sarai. It feels like a powerful statement.
What kind of statement?
It suggests that even when Abram messes up, when his human fear leads him down this path of deception, the divine commitment to the promises made to him is still unbreakable. The lineage, the promise itself, is protected, even despite the human failings. And the consequences for Pharaoh, they show this swift, severe divine justice. It doesn't excuse the deception, but it corrects a situation with a pretty dramatic intervention.
So Pharaoh figures it out, presumably because of the plagues. He summons Abram, and he is clearly furious.
Understandable.
He demands answers. What have you done to me? Why didn't you tell me she was your wife? Why did you say she is my sister so that I took her to be my wife?
Yeah, Pharaoh's reaction is almost, surprisingly ethical and direct, given the context of a powerful ruler. He recognizes something is deeply wrong here.
And he acts immediately to fix it.
He does. He tells Abram straight up, now then, here is your wife. Take her and go. No negotiation.
Just get out.
Exactly. Pharaoh then gives orders to his men, and they basically escort Abram out, him, his wife, and everything he'd acquired in Egypt.
Wow. So that whole detour, from famine to fear, deception, near disaster, and then this miraculous deliverance, it really shows the complexities of this early part of Abram's journey.
Absolutely. It's not a simple straight line of faith and blessing.
So what can we really take away from all this? We've kind of journeyed with Abram from that radical call, those immense promises, through his first acts of faith, building altars in Canaan, and then slam into this surprising, really high-stakes detour in Egypt.
Yeah, it covers a lot of ground, emotionally and geographically.
And this narrative, it shows us these moments of just profound obedience side by side with striking human vulnerability, real fear.
And yet also this persistent divine protection running underneath it all.
It definitely reminds us that even these towering figures of faith are complex. They're flawed individuals, just like anyone, navigating their own fears and making choices, sometimes questionable ones.
True. It makes the story perhaps more relatable, in a way.
So maybe think about how these early experiences, the journey, the promise, the unexpected crises, even his own mistakes, how might they have shaped Abram, shaped his understanding of his relationship with the divine, his own role in this grander plan that was unfolding.
Yeah, and what lessons can we maybe glean from such a foundational story about navigating our own uncertainty, about trust, especially when we see that even the most celebrated figures sometimes falter?
Right. They falter, yet they're still clearly part of a much bigger story, something to really mull over.